Hello, hello. You are on Coley Cole Live for our recording with Miss Zakkiyyah Salaam. Not only an extraordinary woman, but one of my good friends who I am happy to have on Coley Cole Live. It's okay to have your say podcast because she tells it like it is, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So let me get right into it because I know y'all busy. So let me get right into it. Tell me, who is Zakkiyyah Salaam?
Oh, wow. That is such a loaded question.
I know.
Pew, pew, pew. You just jumped out.
I just went right in.
All of the things. Who is Zakkiyyah? If I had to sum Zakkiyyah up in a short, very, very brief synopsis, Zakkiyyah is a energy. She is a light changing, energy shifting human that, just sees the best and looks forward to the best in everything.
And I can attest to that. Because when you walk into a room, the room lights up, everybody lights up, everybody's, oh, Zakkiyyah. Yeah. And it's not because, she's
not because I'm a millionaire.
A millionaire.
I'm not famous just yet.
Just yet. She's on her way. But because of the energy you have and because you empower so many people. You've empowered me. She's introduced me to so many people because I was new to the city and she to the state, I guess. And she grabbed hold and was like, hey, I want you to meet this person, which you don't find often. You don't find that often. You don't find a lot of people who really want to help you with things, especially people you don't know. I'm from the whole other side of the world. Right.
We got a lot of gatekeepers and people that feel like, oh, this is my city, this is my state. And no, this is here for everybody and everyone. And how can we be better if we are not working together? And we got to get to know one another to know how we can work together.
That is true. Because if you don't know somebody, how are you going to work with them? Right.
Understanding is key.
Mm-hmm. So Zakkiyyah was a speaker at my women's event, Renew You, earlier this year. And she did a fabulous job. And women who are there are still talking about it. Next year, don't miss it.
That's right.
But she was there and she gave us some good nuggets. And one of the things that we asked her and she was sharing there that I want her to share here is what brought you to the current work you do. Tell us what kind of work you do and what got you there.
Oh, wow. All these loaded questions. I don't know.
That's what I do.
So the current work that I do is what most people would consider community-based because I'm focused on growing and developing a community that is sustainable and equitable for everyone.
And this is the community of Las Vegas.
The community of Las Vegas.
Okay.
Most directly. However, it should have a ripple effect and kind of branch off to everybody.
That's the goal, right?
Yes, that is definitely the goal to other cities, other people. And I do that really by just being my most authentic self and showing other people that it's okay to be exactly who you are, unapologetic, and love that because it's our individual selves that we need to be, not trying to be like somebody else. Because if I'm trying to be like you and the other person, I don't allow them to have their glory and their light, and I don't allow me to be me. And I have something to bring to the table too, just as much as you have and the next person. And when we highlight those individual personalities and things that are really great about each individual, when you come together, you have something even more spectacular.
I like that.
That's done without me taking away from you or you taking away from me. So in a nutshell, that's what I do essentially for community. I bring people together to build and learn from one another and see how we can work together to grow a sustainable ecosystem right here where we live, and we can flourish and thrive in this space. And it doesn't have to be a competitive space. Again, like I said, what I offer is not necessarily what you offer, even though you have a light and an energy as well, right? My light does not outshine yours and vice versa. So we should definitely be operating in that to its fullest capacity. So that is the simplest version, even though that was a little complicated about what I do.
I thought it was good because it gave everyone an idea of what your mission, what your goal is. A lot of times I know people do a lot of things in the community or in organizations, and they're just doing it because it's their job, not because it's their mission or their passion. Yeah. And it's your natural passion to connect people. It's your natural mission to say, I want you to connect with this person. And I don't think I've ever been in a room with you where you haven't said, let me introduce you to this person, or let me show you this person. And I love that about you because, like you said, your light shines and other people shine too. It's no competition here. No. And I think that speaks volumes to who you are and what you give to people that is priceless. Like, you can't pay for that. You can't. People can't be trained to do that. You know, people will get community jobs and they're not even community people.
That is so true. So true.
They don't even have the energy to do it. And you're looking at them as if to say, why are you here?
Right. And the fact that you bring up energy is really important because it definitely takes a certain type of energy to even operate in this space at its fullest and best capacity. And because it's second nature, it's just who I am, is why I'm so amazing at what I do.
Right.
You know, and
I like the way toot your horn, and you should. Because you are good at what you do.
I do.
And you don't have to hide that.
The thing is, I didn't even know it was a thing till people told me it was a thing. And I'm like, I'm just me. Like, this is what I do. Like, I don't.
People get paid for this?
Right. I didn't know it was a thing. Like, it's a whole job. It's a whole career that people will pay good money for just to help connect the dots in the places that they need to be connected. And I guess for me, like, once I figured that out, I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, this is a real thing and I can do this. And I just focused more on that in my foundation and my business, Z's Legacy.
And tell us about that. So that brings me to that. Tell me about the foundation. She has a podcast she's going to talk about. Tell me about the foundation, the podcast, all things Zakkiyyah. Tell me.
Oh, there's so many things
that you do so we can make sure that everybody is connected and utilizing these tools and getting on these platforms so they can see.
Right. So what I was leading into is I came up with Z's Legacy because in operating in this space that I operate in as this community organizer and developer, I realized that I'm writing history in real time and I get to see it, which is mind blowing to know the things that I've done and know that in years to come, people are going to talk about me. Like my name is going to be spoken. My name is spoken in places that I haven't even entered into yet.
Right.
So that's really exciting. And that's where Z's Legacy comes from because this is my legacy. And I want people to know that, again, it is okay to be exactly who you are.
Now, what things does Z's Legacy do? Like, give me some examples of things that you've done with the foundation.
Okay, some of the things that I've done. I guess the most notable one at this point was the Super Bowl breakfast that I had an opportunity to,
which I attended.
Yes, that was phenomenal. I didn't really get to see it because I was in the thick of it, but I heard amazing things.
I saw her fall. We waved to each other.
Yes,
I was okay with that. She was working.
Where for me, the youth, which is our future. Here in Las Vegas, the underserved youth never have an opportunity to show up in those spaces. So what Z's Legacy was able to do was be able to partner with almost 12 different nonprofit foundations that support youth and have their youth attend the breakfast. That didn't cost them anything.
Wow.
But they were able to show up. So I had, like I said, 200 youth that were able to enjoy the Super Bowl breakfast amongst all of these high level, people in that experience that they otherwise wouldn't have had. And then in addition to that, they attended the legacy reception, which was a reception that followed the breakfast, where they came in and had their own space. Some of the players, the Super Bowl Bart Starr award winner, he came in, Tony Dungy, a bunch of people. Again, that is just an experience in life that is changing and mind altering for our underserved youth, because they wouldn't have otherwise had that opportunity. And
the foundation afforded that to them.
Yes.
You know, and probably for years to come, it'll even get bigger.
Exactly. That is the goal. That is the
and
intention.
Maybe even some of those youth will come back and talk about it.
And give back, or, you know, be in that room in a different capacity.
Yeah.
So the goal is to just allow them to know that these are spaces that you can be in. You should be in this room. You live in this city. Why not be a part of this? Right. So, that happened. I know it's crazy when I think about it, but that happened.
There was so many people at this breakfast.
2,000 people.
Oh my gosh, it was so many people.
2,000 people.
And the people that were there, even the people that were at my table, were people from different organizations in the city. There were people from organizations that's not even in Vegas, different states that came.
Yeah.
And just to support the youth and just to give to, you know, what was going on, you know, through the NFL, but through you, because you put it all together. And it was an experience that I think that the youth won't forget, you know, especially because
I don't think
they
they'll
didn't even have
ever
to
forget that. And when you talk about the Super Bowl breakfast, they've been doing the Super Bowl breakfast for close to 40 years.
Wow.
This is the first time that a community component of this capacity has been brought in.
Oh, wow.
So it's huge. And this is the first time where the underserved youth were able to attend. And the Super Bowl goes to all types of cities.
It goes to the U.S.
Right.
The USA, out of the USA, the whole world.
And to never have had children from the city that the Super Bowl is being hosted in, that, you know, can only watch the Super Bowl on television, be able to attend for the first time. That was huge.
That was huge. I didn't even realize how much of an impact that was making. I saw the pictures afterwards, and I was like, oh, I didn't see them. I saw them there at the breakfast.
Right.
They were running around, and some of them were sitting there looking all surprised.
Yeah, they were all dressed up,
they were
sharp. They had their little suits on and ties.
But I'm glad that they got that opportunity after we all left, and they had something just for them.
Yeah.
So that's the legacy. That's the foundation. Now you have a podcast.
Yes.
Tell me the name of the podcast. When does it come on?
So the podcast is Uncomfortable Conversations, and that is also brought to you by Z's Legacy. The intention or the focus of Uncomfortable Conversations is understanding that language is the translation of our reality. We can only speak about the things that we know, meaning what we see, what's around us. Again, lending to the Super Bowl breakfast, changing the environment for those children to see something different. Uncomfortable Conversation does that when we sit down and we have a conversation and take time to understand another person's story, their vision, what they see and the way they translate, and kind of just not necessarily comparing the two, but I guess seeing how they align and how the vision is skewed. Perspective is based on where you're standing. Right,
where you're standing, yeah.
So if I'm standing on this side of the street and it's raining over here and you standing over there, but the sun is shining, and I'm like, no, it's raining. No, the sun is shining. I'm telling you, I'm standing in it. It's different. So just getting a better understanding of who we are as a community, I feel like we can operate and show up better for one another because we know. Right. You know, it's not just, oh, well, this is what I see over here and this is what. But take a moment to understand who I am, where I'm coming from, and why I'm saying what I'm saying. And, you know, I think we can figure it out from there.
Okay.
You know, conversation is about understanding, not just hearing what I say. Because if I was sitting here talking to you in Spanish, and I don't know if you speak Spanish or not, but if I did, you wouldn't understand anything, but yet I could say, we're having this conversation. But if you don't understand it, it's pointless.
Right.
So that's what Uncomfortable Conversations is, just showing up, again, in your most authentic self, very transparent and vulnerable, being able to share the things that a lot of times people are ashamed.
So what kind of topics have you had?
Oh, wow.
or do you even have coming up? Because I know you have some tapings that you're doing soon.
There are 2 seasons that are currently out of Uncomfortable Conversations, and you can find season 2 on YouTube.
Okay.
Season 1 and 2 is on Spotify under Uncomfortable Conversations.
Okay.
Season 3 is coming up August.
And that's going to be on Spotify or YouTube? It's
going to be on both.
Both, okay.
It's going to be on both again. So some of the topics that we have touched on, it's only me, but...
Well, so you and whoever you've been talking to.
Exactly, the person that I've been talking to, that's the we. You're right. So some of the things that we have touched on is, motherhood and what that really looks like, drugs, sexual abuse, being trafficked, fathers, that relationship between a father and a child. There's been a lot of touchy situations that, culturally in America, it's like certain things we just don't talk about.
Right.
We're past that.
Business, we don't talk about this.
Don't say this. Well, you're grown now.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that there's not trauma that's still attached to that.
Still,
It's still there. So talking about it helps other people and it helps yourself. It's therapeutic in the sense that you get to say it and you don't have to hold it in anymore. Again, that understanding and allowing somebody else to say, I can say this. I don't have to hold this in.
Right. I have a right to express how I feel.
Right? Yeah. I should not have to be continuously traumatized by holding on to this baggage and keeping it to myself because I don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings. I don't want to shame them, but I'm ashamed.
Right.
Why am I ashamed?
Why am I ashamed by the things I've been through that I should be upset about?
Exactly.
I should be able to talk about. Why not?
So those are some of the things. Termination. Right.
We could talk about termination.
Listen,
she came from termination
after termination.
Destination. Termination to destination was her journey that I love to hear her talk about.
And understand that being terminated is, I'm gonna say it's a blessing.
It's a humbling blessing.
It is such a humbling blessing, and understanding that the universe is going to put you exactly where you need to be, even if you don't want to get up and go. I was terminated twice in the same year.
2 times.
And it's not because your girl is not educated or experienced or amazing at what she does.
Right.
I just wasn't supposed to be there. Divine timing and intervention is real. Had I not been terminated, I would not have been able to be the community affairs director for the NFL alumni because I would not have been in a space to receive it.
Right.
I would not have started my podcast. I would not have Z's legacy. I would not have made the impact for the Super Bowl for those youth that were able. So being terminated,
it pushed you into
where I needed to be. Otherwise, I would have still been in my little comfortable, cushy little job, chugging along, doing the things that are amazing for someone else to show up great. But it was time for me to show up and be great.
Right.
For me. So termination is the first episode.
Termination was the first episode.
That was the first episode. And yeah, that's a long story. We could talk about that, but we're going to move on. We're going to move on and keep going.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So that was in line with when I was going to ask you about telling me a story where you overcame something that you think you couldn't have. You couldn't have or was impossible. And that, I know that's something that you did not think was something you could overcome, or you didn't see the big light at the end of the tunnel, or you never would have thought you would be where you are now.
Not at all.
Because of that, or since that.
Because of that, but even more recently, if we want to talk about my foundation, where did I get off saying I was going to have a foundation?
Right.
One day did I wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to have my own foundation. Because I'm not seeing the impact that I want to see, so I'm going to be that.
Yeah.
Termination.
Yeah. Termination leads to destination.
Let me tell you, it pushed me into so many different uncomfortable spaces. But it helped me show up for me.
Yeah.
And I believe that is the most important part. I've figured that out, that I cannot show up for anyone else without showing up for myself first.
Is it put your mask on first?
Yes. My mask has to go on first.
Mask on first.
And when I talk to people now and I tell them I'm so selfish, and they're like, "You're not selfish." No, I am. I have to be. And I say that with, like the purest heart. I have to be, because when I get to be selfish and show you how I love me, then you know how you have to love me and respect me. But also you learn how you need to love you and respect you. And
I like what you said, what you say about that, because me being a therapist, I talk to people a lot about boundary setting, right?
Yes.
And people think which is a whole episode I'll do later, but when you think about boundary setting, people automatically think, that's a bad thing. That's a wall. That's
I love
something
boundaries.
You shouldn't do. But I have a book that's coming out at the end of the year called Boundaries Are Beautiful, because I believe that boundaries are exactly what you said. It teaches people how to treat you and how you will treat people, so that everybody can be respected, because that's the level that they need.
Right.
It's not a wall. It's not a blocking you in, blocking you out. It's let me show up as my authentic self. You show up as your authentic self, and we can both get along because we both understand our needs.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be where I'm ashamed to say what I have to say, or I am feeling embarrassed by not feeling as good or as less, or feeling less than. It's about making sure that we know how to treat ourselves.
Exactly.
So that others know how to treat us. Right. I tell people when I talk about relationships, not just with a significant other, but friendships,
all the
family
ships.
members, all the ships that come through the night, all
exactly.
the ships,
all of the ships,
all those ships that come in the night. That when you have those relationships, it is important that you know what you like, you know what you don't like, you know what you can accept, you know what you can accept,
what you need,
and you also
what you
know
need.
When your crap stinks, and somebody can tell you that.
Absolutely.
And it's okay. I've been told that by good friends sometimes.
The best friends will tell you like, that.
That's not right, and you just think you're great. Those are all good boundaries. So I like when you spoke about that, and that you're talking about that through your foundation and through other things, to show people that it's okay to set boundaries, but it's even more okay for you to know what you like, don't like, and respect you, so that other people can respect you.
Absolutely.
Because that respect is, people say, oh, respect is earned. But if I don't even know what I want to respect, how are you going to earn it?
You don't even know what respect is. I get this often. I have children, and my youngest.
She don't look like she got children, y'all. She got twins. She got
twins. She has 6 children. Okay.
Josh,
and 2 grandbabies.
Don't look a day over 30.
And I'm not. No. No, but I have children, and each one of them, we have a different relationship. Not that I love one more than the other, but I understand who they are, and I respect them as who they are, and vice versa. And I know what they need, and I know how I need to handle and deal with them accordingly. My older children, of course, they had a different mom than the mom that I am now, or the mom that I was when I got to my youngest ones. So the older ones are always like, I can't believe she let him, and we could have never. But I understand more. As you go along this journey, you understand. And I figured out they're children, they're my children, but they're still human. They're still people.
With their own desires,
their own desires, their own minds, their own things. And I have to respect them in that, if I want them to respect me. It's not well, I'm your mom and you got to, no, they're still people. And it's okay for me to listen to their perspective. Yeah. Because how can I expect or want them to just listen to me and never hear them out? That is so important. And again, like I said, I've learned that over the years. My oldest son, he'd be like, I don't know her.
That's
could have never.
I don't know her. I would never be able to do that.
But my youngest son, he goes off on a whole tangent and a rant, and it's like they be looking at me like, you just gonna let really? Like she would have been pop. But I understand he has to go through that. Mm-hmm. That's how he processes. So I let him have his moment. Mm-hmm. It look crazy that some people be like, oh, he disrespect. He's not. He's doing what he needs to do. And I'd rather him do that with me and feel safe and figure out his feelings and emotions than me fight with him and then he's fighting with himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you just have to understand who you're dealing with, what they need, what you need. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I need to just take a step back.
Right. Get out the way.
It's okay.
Get out the way.
It is okay.
Yeah. The podcast, it's okay to have your say. That's what the podcast is about. It's okay. I tell people it is okay. One of the stand-in lines I will use for eternity that I created is, I don't have to understand what you're talking about. I don't even have to like what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But I do have to respect how you process and what you're talking about. Because we don't think the same. We don't think the same. We don't respond the same. So I might not understand how you sifting through this whole thing, or you might take some days to think, or you might be somebody who comes back really quick with an answer. But that's your process. Exactly. So I have to respect your process. I don't have to like it. And it's not mine to understand, but I got to respect it.
For sure.
So, good examples with the kids.
Yeah, honey, them children, having 6 of them, it's very different. Ooh. And even the twins are completely different. Mm. I have a boy and a girl, but they're still completely different. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And everybody just needs different things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I'm sure being a mom, you have to, like you said, you don't love one more than the other, but you have to stretch yourself to whoever needs what.
Absolutely.
You know. And
somebody's going to need more.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to need a little less. Somebody is going to not need what the other one needs, but they still have a different need, or they don't need nothing at all, and they got this. And I do have a child that she is Miss, I got it. I got it.
I got it. I'm good.
Ever since she was 2, went to her. I got it. She was tying her shoe at 2. I got it. Okay. She got it. And I let her get it. But when she need me, she call me. Mm-hmm. And she knows that she can. Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. So she knows she can.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's good, girl. We have to come on and talk about a whole nother parenting one for the parents. And, you know, I always tell people, I wasn't blessed to have natural children, but I have like 7 godchildren and nieces and nephews that I'm very active in all of their lives. And just seeing their parents go through things with them calling me, asking me questions, it's a lot. It's a lot. And generation through generation is totally different.
It changes.
You know, the way we grew up is not the way they grew up, which is not the way our own parents grew up. And a lot of things that we allow, our parents would never allow. And a lot of things they do, we would be like, what are y'all doing?
Right.
But it's the generational thing as it goes down. And I don't understand it. I don't understand this, what is it, Snapchatting and all this. They don't call me, text me. It was one of my nieces said, I don't like to talk to on the phone. They have to text me. And I said, well, text you? Well, y'all don't have conversations? She said, no, I don't like all that. But you know what? I respect it.
Yeah,
if that's how y'all communicate and it works for you, good. Now, my generation,
I'm going to need you to call me.
I need you to call me.
Call me.
I need you to call me.
You can text me something small, but like big stuff. Don't be sending me no paragraph that I got to hit view all and then it's flooding the screen.
Or anything over 2 texts.
Right.
You can pick up the phone.
Call me.
It's a little too much.
If you can't call me right now, call me when you can.
Right. Call me later.
And don't text me and ask me for no money. Okay? Can I borrow? I'm not even going to respond. I'm just going to let you know now. I will not respond to a text asking for some money.
For some money.
Don't do it.
For some money. You know, it's just mind-blowing on how people communicate. Even now, when I'm out here doing speaking engagements and things like that, you know, sometimes you can still be free, but you still also have to be mindful of the crowd you're in.
Right.
Because if it's a college crowd I'm talking to, they don't get what 30 and 40-year-olds are talking about.
Oh, good God, no.
You know, and then if I'm talking to people in their 40s and 50s or, you know, and up there thinking, I don't know, who is that you're talking about? Yeah. So you have to be mindful when you're around people. And I think you being in the community, you probably see this a lot, that you don't code switch or anything, but you make sure that you're understood.
Right.
And that person feels safe to be understood. And you don't have to code switch for that. So let me make that clear. No, you do not have to code switch to be and succeed. You do not have to code switch. Don't. Please do not do that. You don't. And if you don't know what code switching is, Google it. But in essence, it's being something you're not just to fit in.
It's you don't have to change the code.
When you change your own code to fit into that code, that puzzle doesn't work. Don't do that.
Right.
So be good with who you are. Be happy with who you are. So, okay. All right. What is it that you would tell your younger self about life now?
That's, what would I tell my younger self about life now? It's what I'm going to say is something that I know, and I say stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Mm-hmm. I would definitely tell my younger self to stay ready. Mm-hmm. Stay ready and don't be easily sidetracked.
I like that one. Don't be
stick to the plan, and the plan is your plan. Mm-hmm. It's not anybody else's plan for you.
Right.
Stick to the plan, because we can easily get derailed looking at shiny objects and pretty flowers and twinkling stars and all of that good stuff. Stick to the plan, your plan. Mm-hmm. Stay focused. And yeah, I would tell myself to be my most authentic self. Love me. Love me is what I would tell her.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I think a lot of young women don't hear that enough. They hear how big they are, how the thighs are big, how they're too small, or they're not, the hair's not long enough. Everything is a not enough, not enough. But they don't hear enough that they need to love whatever they have, because it's enough.
It is.
And it's because you're always going to be trying to be something better if you keep better than what your mind thinks is better. If you keep comparing yourself to the next person and to the next person, thinking that that's a better
thing. You just need to be your best you. Mm-hmm. Whatever that looks like. And again, you define that.
Yeah.
I get to decide what kind of Zakkiyyah I want to be. I get to decide if I want to turn my energy, my light on or off. Mm-hmm. So knowing that we have that power is, again, like what I said, I would just tell her to just be you, trust that, stay on the path that you want to be on. Mm-hmm. You don't have to follow somebody else's agenda to be happy and successful. Success is defined by you.
That's good. That's good. I like that. And one thing I like about you is the way that I will say you remind me of myself in some ways, in that I am not ashamed and actually love the fact that I'll wear the biggest earrings. I'll wear purple and bright colors, because you will rarely see me wear black. Rarely.
Right. Very, very rare.
If I have black in my closet, it's because I had to go to a function. I may have a couple of black items or a black t-shirt here and there.
But it's some color with that black.
Right, but if I got a black shirt, I'm going to have on some bright something earrings,
some yellow earrings, some green hair. Yeah. You gonna find me in some color.
You're going to see all of that.
In color on purpose.
On purpose. And like, for example, like, look at your beautiful earrings. Where'd you get those earrings? They are beautiful.
I can't say because they're not a sponsor. No.
and that's real.
We can't be shouting them
that's
out.
That's real. But they didn't put her on the.
If they watching, they know where they came from. Don't sponsor me.
I'll get them for her so I can get some for myself. But I'm just going to say this is exactly what I mean. The beautiful earrings, outfit. She is you, are always dressed in what looks like something you felt was good for you that day. From glasses to earrings to outfits, I can always say, what you got on today? She always surprises me. And not because I'm looking for her outfits, but because I enjoy the light that comes with it.
It's like energy.
You got to be bold to do things like we do. I don't care. My husband will say to me, are you wearing that with that?
Yep.
And I am.
And is.
And I'm wearing these shoes. They don't match. They match for me.
Yep. I feel good in them.
I feel good. I look great in them. And I like, like you said, showing up as your true self.
Yeah. I don't know how to show up another way. And I love that you didn't say like the latest fashions or name brands, because
I don't even wear name brand stuff. Now, besides a Nike sneaker here and there,
there's some pieces in there, but the root of it is you see me. Mm-hmm. That's what you get. That's what people get when they see me, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, where'd you get that? It's amazing!" From the Dollar Tree.
Right.
That's where this came from.
Ross,
not today,
Marshall,
but
somewhere,
something like along those lines. And they're like, "Oh my goodness, you always look so nice." Thank you. But it's my energy because I'm happy and excited to be me.
Yeah.
And you feel that, you see that it translates in everything that I do. Mm-hmm. And that comes with being your most authentic self.
Yeah.
Nobody else can do what I do. If we gave this exact same outfit to somebody else, it'd be like, oh, that's
all
cute.
right. It don't look the same.
Right.
It don't
but you're not going to feel this orange like you feel it right now.
You're not going to feel this orange.
You ain't going to feel it.
And we don't have shoes on right now. But
none. And she got my toes out. I ain't putting lotion on my feet. Don't nobody look at me, though.
But she has these beautiful orange shoes that with a little gem gold
they got little pearls on them just like my glasses. And the glasses stay matching.
Always matching. Glasses always matching. So, and I like that because that also teaches young women that whatever they want to wear, if they think it's nice, then it's nice.
It is.
If they feel good in it, then it's good. You don't have to be the latest and the greatest fashion fad. Like you said, there might be a piece I have on here or there, but for the most part, it's something I picked up from somewhere I love going to not flea market. Well, I like going there too. But outside when you go to the farmers markets.
Oh, the farmers markets.
I love farmers market sales and people who make things. Like I love supporting people who make things, their own jewelry, their own purses.
Yeah. I
will buy those things and support those because I know it took time. My mother is a seamstress. Well, she was growing up all my life. She worked, but she did that. That was just something she knew from when she was little. And I think it's something special when you can spend hours on end and come out with something beautiful nobody else has.
That's it. It's an original, an authentic piece.
Yeah.
I love that. That's why I stopped wearing like designer name bags.
Nothing wrong with them.
No,
if you got
they're cute, do your thing. But for me, if I spend $1,500 on a bag, I don't want to see 1,500 other people with either the exact same bag that they spent $1,500 on, or they got a knockoff that they spent $20 for, and it look just like my bag.
It look like my $1,500.
Baby, bye. I can do something else with that money.
Right.
Yeah, I
go on a trip with that money,
girl. When that registered, like, what are we doing? I don't care about that warranty. What are the chances that after 20 years, I'm going to send that bag back to Coach or Louis or whoever, and they're going to replace it with the value that I spent? No.
And trust me, I love a good bag. I do love a good bag and everything else. But I also know what it is to get things that are not those things.
Right.
It's okay to have them, but it's okay to not have them.
Yeah, we don't have to have all of them. We don't need all the spy bags and
all of them. You need all that.
We don't need all of the Fendi bags and all of the Louis. Like,
in every color.
How many arms you got?
But your budget's not good.
Right.
and your bills aren't paid.
And you're sleeping on a mattress that's on the floor.
Right. Or you got a lot of other things that you haven't done because
you don't own a home.
Right. Talk about it. You don't own a home or a car. So you can spend those things, but have that other stuff in place.
Yes.
Have the other things in place. So good point for the youth. I like that. I like that. So my last question is, how do people find you? How can people donate to your foundation? How can people be a part and give of themselves, whether it's money, their time? What kind of things would help your foundation out so that it can be the foundation that you want it to be?
You know what? I'm going to talk about the foundation first. My initiatives for Z's Legacy in regards to serving the underserved youth is to provide opportunity in spaces that they don't necessarily have access to. So even more so than United States currencies, which I'm not saying I don't want, but what I am saying is I need community partners that's willing to open their doors to allow these children to come in to gain experience. Places that they don't have access to because they don't have access to it, regardless of whatever the reason is. They're underserved. They don't have access to it. Just like them being able to go to that Super Bowl breakfast.
Right.
Those tickets were $250 or something, right?
Yeah.
200 children.
Yeah.
So I need people that are willing to say, hey, let me show you. That will do some mentorships. That will let them do some internships. Let them see things. I want them to be exposed. Again, we just talked about the language that you speak is a translation of your reality. If you don't see these spaces and have access to these spaces, how can you ever believe that you can be in these spaces? We live in the greatest city there is, period.
Everybody comes here.
Everybody and their mama and their babies too. Come right here to Las Vegas. But we have youth that are growing up here in Las Vegas and they're not equipped to take over Las Vegas as we know it right now.
Yeah, that's true.
So I need the gaming industry to come out and support these babies. I need coders, computer programmers. I need Boyd Gaming. Yeah, I'm gonna call you guys out. There's Boyd. I know there's some other Aristocrat. I need you to have some youth programs that's free or scholarship, whatever you want to call it. Grant funded.
Yeah.
I need to get these babies prepared for Las Vegas so we can continue to be the greatest city and they can be proud and know that they live in a great city.
Yeah.
Because they don't get to see that. So I want to expose them to that. So that's what I need. I need partners, community partners, which I know I have all of them here. The Aces, I have the Raiders, I have, what is the Devil Dogs? Desert Dogs. And I love them. That lacrosse team. Have you been to see them?
I have not been.
Phenomenal. But those are the people that I need. More so than money, you need
community people to show up.
Community partners to provide spaces and opportunities for these youth and help them understand how they can be a part of the city that they grow in, to encourage them to even want to go to school, right? To learn the things and understand why they're learning what they're learning and how that applies and translates into a future for them. That's what I need for the foundation.
Okay.
How can you reach me? You can reach me personally at UC Salaam. That's UCSALAAM. That's it. That's it. I was going to say at Gmail.
And that's your Instagram?
But that is my Instagram. That is my TikTok. Zakkiyyah Salaam is my Facebook. Zakkiyyah Salaam is my LinkedIn. And for foundation information and just Z's Legacy, the business where I partner with community partners and help them understand how to develop their most authentic brand It's going to be Z's Legacy LV. So that's here in Las Vegas. If you follow or find UC Salaam, you'll find Z's Legacy somewhere in conjunction with that. So that's how you can reach me.
Okay. All right. And we'll do our part, of course. Of course, if you're watching or you're listening here, you can always reach out to me to find her, so you can help out. If you're a community partner that I already know.
Yep, we're talking to
you. You and you.
And
to
you.
Get on and on my platform or send me a message saying, how can I help the community? How can I bring others in? I know a lot of people in the mental health field that these children probably think they don't know that they can even do that. Right. They don't know that they can be therapists and doctors and
no, because we can't
nurses.
Talk to therapists because we black. We don't
we
do
black.
that.
We don't do that. We don't do that, right? But showing them that it's okay and letting them come into your space free of charge, serving the community. So those people, that are willing, and I say willing because we don't want you to do it begrudgingly. We want you to be willing. We want you to be willing because these young children and these young adults, they pick up on if you're really genuine.
For sure.
They pick up if you feel like you're just doing it to check the box.
Yeah.
They know that. So I want you to be genuine if you're going to connect with Miss Salaam here.
And I know that I unintentionally or intentionally don't work with people because I know that they don't really have the heart for it. So I'm looking for people that really want to help.
Yeah.
That's what I need. I need authentic people that really want to make a difference and really support the mission of serving our underserved population here and helping them grow.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for being on It's Okay to Have Your Say with me.
Thank you for having me.
And for coming into my space, my comfy space, and enjoying with me. Y'all, I just like to be comfortable. I just want to sit down. If we could sit down with some popcorn and some blankets, which we could, but we might be too comfortable for y'all then. I would, because I want people to come on the show and know it's okay to say whatever you feel like you need to say, with respect, of course. But it's okay to share what you love to do. It's okay to share who you are. It's okay to ask for help. And people get shot down so much about asking for help, which is why I always say, how can we help you? How can I, branch out and put the word out to get help? Even if, there's a day or something I can't help, who do I know that can help? Because everybody knows somebody who knows somebody.
That knows somebody.
That knows somebody that can be
of
helpful
service.
And of service. So I want to thank you for taking your time out to hang out with me.
Of course. Thank you for having
over
me.
Here. You are so welcome.
I enjoyed this.
Yes. You know where you can reach her. And then you know how you can get to her. If you don't remember, you know how to say, Nicole, who's that lady? I got you.
If you Google me, I will pop up.
Yeah.
I'm this much famous. I'm almost famous, as my good friend Carlos Anthony would say. Almost famous.
Almost famous.
I'm
almost
this famous.
But I love it. And, I'm just going to, I always end with saying that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you give, it's how you give. And it's not what you show, it's how you show. Everything is a how you do it. So, and that's something I had to learn for myself, being out as a therapist and in front of people and just helping people in the community, because everybody wants to be helped. Some people just don't know how to ask for it. Yeah. And it's people like yourself who give that help without people having to ask, or if they're ashamed, you're already there. And so I appreciate you for doing that and for being here and for being my friend who's always there if I need her. She's one of my people I can call to ask 50 million questions. She's probably like, Nicole, what the world? I don't know. What now? Who is this? Everybody knows I'm horrible with names. I could have just saw this person 2 weeks ago and they would say, such and such. And I'd say, who? Then they show me a picture. Oh, yeah. We had lunch the other day. Right. And it's not because I don't care. It's just I talk to so many people a day that sometimes I'm like, who? But I never forget her face. So, but she always helps me with it. I'm like, who's that? And she's like, oh, I'm like, oh, yeah. So I thank her for always not making me feel like I should know and being there to tell me 50 million times that I ask. So I thank her for that. But I'm going to end with saying that my famous Coley Cole Live, you know how to find me on It's Okay to Have Your Say, on Spotify, on YouTube, and on Apple. Soon as I can figure it out, it'll be on Apple. I tried and I couldn't get it, but I'm going to figure it out. How I can get it on Apple. But you can find me there. And you can also find my IG page, which is Coley Cole Live. My Facebook is Coley Cole Live. And that my LinkedIn is Coley Cole Live. Yeah.
So just look for Coley Cole Live.
You know, I do have a therapy company, Nick of Time Services, which you all know about, where we do therapy and sessions and also trainings and things like that. But my goal of Coley Cole Live is to let people know it's okay to have your say. That was my whole point of starting this podcast and starting these recordings, because I always had a lot to say. My family would say, I always got a lot to say. I do. I always have a lot to say, but I know that other people have a whole lot to say, and I want them to be okay saying it. So I would love to stay in chat, but I got to go. As I always say, it's okay to be helpful, but if you can't be helpful, don't be hurtful. All right? Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.